But at the end of the day, there is a very real reason why popular musicians and producers today don't stray away from their safe haven of repetitive, monotonous drum machines, unimaginative, factory-produced lyrics, rhythms stolen from the previous popular song then chopped up and changed slightly, and of course their ever-popular millennial whoops. It all has to do with risk. In the 50s, 60s and 70s, record labels would receive hundreds of demo tapes from budding young artists every week. They would sift through them and the most talented acts would be offered record contracts. Even if they weren't that special, it didn't matter too much. The record label would just throw a few £1,000s into marketing, and if the public liked their music, they would naturally gain traction and make it big. If not, they would fade away into the night. And this is crucial, because importantly, the public were voting with their ears for the best, the most talented musicians, singers and songwriters. We, the people, were the final judge and jury, the ultimate arbiter. And so musicians had to be really bloody talented to impress us enough to stick around and make more music. There was just no room for sloppiness or the untalented. But this method was risky, because many times record labels would pump thousands of pounds into an act that weren't destined to be, and their gamble wouldn't pay off, losing their investment. But when they signed the really big acts, it would balance the books. However, today, promoting a new band is more expensive than ever. Over time, the cost of breaking in a new artist onto the global music scene has skyrocketed. In fact, the IFPI reports that today, it costs anywhere between $500,000 and $3 million to sign a new act and break them into the music scene. That's a hell of a lot of money. Would you want to gamble with $3 million? No, neither do music producers. So, the industry has reacted by removing the risk. Instead of trying to find genuine musical talent, they simply take a pretty young face, usually from a TV talent show, and then simply force the public to like them by brainwashing them. Instead of allowing the public to grow to like an artist and make their own mind up about the quality of their music, the industry now simply makes you like their music, thus removing all the financial risk. Brainwash, you say. How on earth do they do that? Well, have you ever noticed how that popular new song seems to follow you around everywhere you go? It's on every single radio station. It's played in your favourite stores, the supermarket, all over the internet, and even in the latest Hollywood movies and popular TV shows. This is no coincidence. What that is, in fact, is the record label's $3 million making sure that that new single is quite literally everywhere, completely unescapable. You will hear it whether you want to or not. Remember, I was talking about the power of familiarity. It's called the mere exposure effect, a psychological phenomenon by which people develop a preference for things they see and hear often. Our brain releases dopamine when we hear a song that we've heard a few times before, and the effect only gets stronger with each listen. Can you remember the very first time you heard your favourite pop songs from the past 10 years? Whether it be Gangnam Style, Happy, All About That Bass, Blurred Lines, Hotline Bling. Did you truly like it the first time you heard it? Or were you, in fact, kind of repulsed? Did you have this brief moment when you thought, what the hell is this? But then you heard it a few more times and you began to think, well, I guess it's kinda catchy. And then your friends are all listening to it and you hear it a few more times and boom, it's your new favourite song and you can't stop playing it. If this has happened to you, then I'm afraid you have been brainwashed. The mere exposure effect has worked on you. Surely if a song is a truly great song, then you wouldn't need to force yourself to love it. You wouldn't need to be won over through a period of repeated exposure. You would just like it the first time you heard it. We all have different musical tastes, but they are sadly being overridden, diluted and emulsified by the brainwashing activities of big record labels, the repeated and constant exposure to manufactured songs that we've heard 100 times before. Don't get me wrong, there are many fantastically talented bands out there today. But in today's industry, virtually none of them will ever be signed because they are simply too risky to promote, because they don't fit the usual pop formula. They are different. But being different is important. You may be thinking, so what if I've been brainwashed? I enjoy contemporary popular music. And isn't that what's most important at the end of the day? Yes, of course. Music is an expression of your personality, and it should be enjoyed no matter what others think or say. But it's also really important to not let creativity and originality disappear. Music as an art form is dying. It's being replaced by music which is a disposable product designed to sell, but not to inspire. So we shouldn't be so complacent in allowing systematic, cold, factory-produced music to dominate, or else the beautiful, soulful and truly real music that we've all at some point loved and has been there with us through our darkest times and our happiest times could soon be a distant memory, never to be repeated. Thanks for watching.